Hello, hello. Hi, Cal. How you doing? How was your pasta salad? That was what you ate, right? The pusta? Pusta salad? I just will butcher words forever. Lay down for the sip this time. Holy shit, I'm so tired. I'm probably, you know what? Probably before I do this, just so that I don't die, I am probably going to go and get a thing of tea started, because otherwise I'm gonna fucking pass out. It's pesto salad with like chicken and like 4 cherry. I love how it's like 4 cherry tomatoes. That was it. That's all that they got. That's all that they put in there. That was all the cherry tomatoes they had in the whole factory. Was just 4. Okay, I'm gonna go get some water started. I'll be right back. Okay, guess who finally made it through the cursed fucking tea? Also, it was me. It's dead now. I drank it all and now I don't have to do that ever again. Okay, let me see. I just am mostly curious. I'm almost free. I have to do final print. Didn't we turn this in yesterday? This class is fucking weird. I'm confused. I don't know what's going on in my class. PowerPoint. Oh, that's like PowerPoint rough draft. I don't fucking know. I'm just gonna let him grade it, and if I like don't fucking do well, I don't know what's. I don't fucking know. Yeah, no more cursed tea, so I'm very excited. I don't know what I'm gonna be drinking today, but something with a lot of caffeine because I only got like 6 hours of sleep, 5.5 maybe. Oh God, I think this is the worst zero sugar I've ever had. No, that is cursed. That's bad. God damn, I really hate having to sit in query hell. Like, I definitely feel like, it's taking forever. It's only been like a week. I wish it was a little more lime forward. I think the zest would have saved it. That's rough. Maybe the sourness could have covered the sin. I love how I get to have this clock on this same... I'm gonna probably do this in a different... hello? In a different way. I'm gonna probably do this. Just nice and... There we go. Let's see. I need to rotate this bad boy. Oh god. And it's not 130 anymore. It's now like 6 something. That's fine. That makes sense to me. I wanted it to be good. Yeah, zero sugar in general for me, it's very rare. Like, I have to know what their zero sugar formula is, because if it's like, okay, so if you say that it's zero sugar but it's then made with aspartame, then that to me is nasty. Like, that's just by default like really bad. But if it's made with like sucralose or something, less bad. Definitely less traumatizing. Oh, it is made with sucralose, see? So then that's just betrayal. That's just fucking... They looked you dead in the eye and they said, sorry, bud. Yeah, sucralose, at least for me, tends to be the worst, or the least offensive. But you're right, though. It could be the fact that it doesn't have any citrus. Like, I will go for the sucralose Mountain Dew Baja Blast, for example. It's, like, not bad. But maybe Mountain Dew is just too powerful. Mountain Dew is strong enough to withstand the force of the sugar-free. I don't know. No, I guess let me upload or like update this DAS really fast, because otherwise it'll keep screaming at me for the rest of eternity. It's going. It's thinking about it. What if I just laid down forever? Feel weird. Just like... really tired. I thought about not streaming today, but I don't know. Well, that, like, yeah, so from a chemistry standpoint, other sweeteners, artificial or otherwise, because sucralose, I believe, is not technically an artificial sweetener. It's synthetic but not artificial, which are two different things. Because they're less sweet, they tend to be more on the bitter side. And your tongue, because it has a bunch of like different regional taste buds on it that taste different things, if you cancel out specific receptors on your tongue with other things, you can trick your brain into thinking that something is or is not what you're eating, if that makes sense. So if you want to cut the bitterness of something, you add either sugar or sour, sweet or sour, right? You have to, from a chemical standpoint, do that. Otherwise, your tongue will be like, this is really fucking bitter. And the main downside of a lot of like zero sugar options for sodas is that they're bitter as fuck. So if you can cover it chemically with an acid, that will help cut the illusion of that bitterness, I guess. Which is why Pepsi kind of like zero sugar Pepsi tastes like ass. Because there's no tartness to it really at all. I got beet juice because I know it's good for me. And I have many regrets. I know some people really like that beet juice. I might not be that guy. Me and beets are kind of friends, but not like the most friends. Trying to figure out what I want the staging for this page. I like roasted beets. Yeah, see, I just don't like how they kind of taste like dirt. Even if you clean them. The golden beets, like, less so. But the red beets in particular, they got that dirt funk. And I don't know if I'm a fan of that. Actually, no, this is fine. Sorry, hold on. I gotta do the Daz. I'm so tired. Not a fan of the earthy notes. Well, see, there's a difference between, in my opinion, earthy notes and just tasting straight like dirt. And that's where the beets start to kind of cross into that category, because I love other root vegetables like rutabaga and turnips, radishes. I love radishes to death. I'll eat the shit out of a radish. But the beets are just like so dirt. It's like dirt is the first flavor profile on a beet. And then weird sweet sugar after that. Because I respect the beet sugar, but not that much. Oh god, they changed all the color. Why would they do that? Well, they just made this incredibly inaccessible. Daz just did the most, and not in a good way. That's not great. They just eliminated a lot of like the color options for Daz itself, which has resulted in making these parameters super difficult to see. I am going to use, let me go back to another page. I think it was 220. Yeah, see, so pickled beets are better because, again, that sourness cuts the earth. Yeah, beets in general are naturally very high in fructose, which is the naturally occurring plant sugar, which is cool and everything, but sugar dirt is a very weird combo. Hi, Jamie. How's it going? We're in here dunking on beets. This is an exclusive anti-beet stream. Not the headphones, but the vegetable. I also watched a video today that infuriated me. This barista was saying that a mocha, a cafe mocha, where you have chocolate syrup, coffee, and milk is just a fruit salad, arguably, because coffee and chocolate both come from a fruit. And I was like, get the fuck out of here. Also, hi, Badrick. I'm doing okay. I'm very tired. Super tired. I did not get a lot of sleep. Because somebody, it was me, was up playing Red Dead Redemption 2. Because I have no control. I was playing a shitload of poker and blackjack. I'm trying to get through all the challenges. You're like, I'm procrastinating studying. As you should. Sometimes it's important to take breaks, though. German exam. You'll do great. See, so the German Starlight Express makes total sense. It's immersion. It makes sense. I've been doing a whole heck of a lot of trying to not die. I'm so tired. Applying to about 1 million jobs, that's really what I've been up to. The beast. Okay. Let me put this over here, and then now I have to fucking censor this, because otherwise it'll ruin everything. And Twitch will do weird shit, and that's not what we need. At all. Oh, good night forever. Holy shit. You know, honestly, I would rather, yeah, definitely have a, I guess, like a, musical stuck in my head while working on an exam than the alternative, truly. I'm so glad I didn't really have to take any exams for my grad program because it's all art. Oh, God. Late night Charlie horse, holy shit. Or early morning Charlie horse, truly? I don't like that. That's upsetting. Yeah, I just, like, got up really fucking early, and then I couldn't go back to sleep. By really early, I mean it was like 8:30. Why are you making me drink the beets? Just kidding, it's bad drink. Stretch, also Stretch. I have this really, like, it's not bad beet juice. I shouldn't say that it's bad. I'm trying to get through this beet juice before I drink my tea. But everybody should stretch and hydrate, though. Stay limber. I'm offended you assumed it was me. Look, you like to punish me. That's all that I know. Alright? If you drink the beet juice really, really fucking fast, it's not so bad. Oh, also, truly, what? What? I stretched too close to the sun. No, I'm so sorry. My bad. I was not aware it was beet juice. My condolences. No, it's okay, Patrick. It's okay. Yeah, it's red berry. So it's apple, strawberry, blueberry, apple cider vinegar, and beets. The beets are just so fucking powerful. And I recognize that this is good for me. Like, it's got them good vitamins in it. It doesn't list which vitamins. It's got some iron. It's got some vitamin C. It's got some potassium, you know? Yeah, you have to combine something with the beet, otherwise it's just, like, terrifying. That's good. I am fucking so hella tired. Yeah, part of it was Tatsu waking up, and then part of it is, like, I've been really stressed out about trying to get and find jobs that I actually will like. And I'm super nervous about it. I've just been applying to, like, literally everything. But ultimately, I need to, like, get a job so I can pay for my shit. Bye, Badrick. See you later. Good luck on the rest of your exams. I believe in you. Ugh. Also, I'm stoked that we're, like, almost to 40% of the, funding goal for the, Get Me the Fuck Out of This Country fund. It's pretty exciting. It's pretty good. My poor mother is, like, freaking out over the entire thing. She's like, I was having a panic attack about you being across the ocean. And I'm like, look, either you can have a panic attack about me being across the ocean, or I can literally have my civil liberties threatened here. I hate to be this guy, but I gotta go. I'm gonna worry about this eyeball in just a second. The actual iris part. Flip. This is, like, good size, but I might have to move it. Nah, she's fine. Yes, I can see you for sure, Jamie. Definitely. Yes, indeedy. Ugh. Also, I don't know if anybody cares about like Eurovision as much as I do, but the Eurovision first round of semifinals got done yesterday, and it was intense. I forgot her necklace. I'm gonna fix that. Hello? Can we go fix this? God, it's so large. That'll do. That'll do. It's fine. Okay, time to sleep forever. I wish that I could sleep like on normal people's schedule. Does that make sense? Like, that would be, it would be so fucking cool if I could do that. I would pay so much money for normal people's schedule. You know, do I want to... The question is... No, I'm gonna keep it kind of stiff because she's like trying to fucking keep her composure together. I think... What if I just went to sleep forever? It just sucks because I don't want to mess up the production schedule for this comic at all. Because people actually are fucking messaging me on Etsy and shit being like, when's the next one coming out? And I'm like, I have fucking so much shit going on and I am not getting paid for this comic. I love that you're here for this, but also I'm dying. It's like, I don't know, Ghost, be a member on Ko-fi and then I'll go faster. Like... And I don't want to be a jerk, you know? It's like, I don't know. And it's tough because I would like love to be able to have this thing come out on like a really consistent schedule. That'd be great. But like, alas, yeah, like I'm 100% making the comic for free. Because like, technically, like, this is considered, this is like a pay what you want comic, right? Because people have the option to just not purchase the comic at all, ever. Like, you could read it right now 100% for free. The only reason you would maybe pay money for it, it would be either, one, if you want to get early access to it, or two, if you are looking for, like, paper versions, like printed versions of it. And that's it. Those are Those are the only two reasons that you would potentially pay money for this entire thing, because otherwise it is literally 100% free, and that is it. But I never want to jump scare somebody with that. Like, I never want to be like, yeah, thanks for your interest in the comic. It takes a million years because I'm literally one person. Like, the standard, like, production pipeline for a comic that has an entire writing staff, or, like, an entire staff just in general, is, no joke, like 70 panels a week, and I produce 6. Maybe less, depending on how detailed they are or how many the page, like, calls for. Because I can definitely write 70 panels a week. But, like, yeah, I think people do not realize, like, they open up webtoons and they don't realize how many people are there that, like, how many comics are there specifically that are run by teams and not by individual people. Also, everybody should stretch and sit up straight. Don't be shrimping. Don't shrimp. But yeah, they have no idea that, like, a lot of the higher end looking webcomics are definitely not produced by 1 or 2 people. They are produced by a team of probably like 4 individuals minimum. So if I can do 6 panels a week, they can quadruple that speed. Which is real cool for them. Hello? I need a pen. I gotta go look at what pens look like. I have a pen right here. I'm gonna use the pen that I have. Yeah, what I learned, honestly, like, I feel like being on the internet, truly, what you learn is that nobody actually understands how art works. That's, like, the #1 thing that you learn being on the internet, is nobody has any fucking idea how art works. Like, I just watched brilliant Doctor Who behind the episode stuff, because one of their most recent big Mad Gods villains is a god called Lux Imperator. And he's a god of light. But the villain is a cartoon. He's 2D animated, and he's a rubber hose cartoon. And it's the first 2D character that's ever been featured on an episode of Doctor Who, which was very, very, very cool. But, you know, for me, as somebody who's, like, in production, and I understand, like, what that looks like, you know, I was like, oh yeah, the actors acted with a green screen dummy pole or something, probably. And then they Who Framed Roger Rabbited it and animated, 2D animated, probably in, like, Toon Boom or something, over top of the film footage. So that way they can have a final composite that is the little guy. is really cool, and it was a very impressively done episode. It was super, super cool. But, like, I legitimately, like, because I just got through the viz dev process for my own portfolio, and, like, I was laughing watching this interview because this guy was like, yeah, so how did you come up with Mr. Ring-a-Ding? That's, like, the name of the cartoon character. And the art director that was on the project was like, well, you know, I had to do about 30 iterations of this character before we were satisfied with it. And then the guy giving the interview was like, 30? Like it was some crazy fucking thing. And it's like, I do probably 15 thumbnails minimum for my assignments for school. And so like 30 iterations of a character for thumbnailing is like nothing. But this guy was just like fucking flabbergasted that, you know, somebody would do multiple iterations, that we don't just like fart and a perfect character just comes out of your head. You know, and it was just silly. It was really funny. Definitely no shade to the interviewer at all, because he also has to act like super hyped about like the entire project and everything. But like, it was just, yeah, silly. Because it was like, yeah, nobody has any fucking idea how art works. And they want things to be so quick. They want things to come out instantaneously. Right now. Look at this nice pen. That's a nice pen. Wow. Incredible. I need to have its little butthole where the pen clicky comes out. There we go. Wow. Oh wait, that's wrong. I'm a liar. Yep, pen butthole. It's where the poop comes out. It's where the pen poop comes out. Here we go. She is enraged. She's like, what in the fuck? I haven't gotten my tea yet because I'm almost done with the beet juice, but I was gonna just go reach into the bowels of the tea box and go and figure that out, because to be honest, I'm not sure. A black tea for sure, because I need the caffeine real, real bad. Look at his little pan. Delete. There we go. I need to get rid of this. Be gone! Incredible. Hi, it was a coffee morning. That sounds delightful, though. Okay, so as cheap as this is... Do I feel kind of lazy today? Yeah. Yeah. Kinda. I need to change this expression. This lady, I don't think moves. I think that her modus operandi is that she just doesn't... She has the expressive nature of a sea sponge. But I'm gonna give her a big ol' eye roll, though. God, Jesus Christ. Help her. Oh my God. Awful. Okay, we're fine. She's like, we're very busy. A cold case from about 2 decades ago is not something that we're fucking interested in. Interesting. Okay, let me reduce this down. And then we're gonna modify the eyeball so that I open her eyeball up just a little bit more, but we don't have to do much there. Wow. To be honest, this lady probably has about as much energy as I do right now. I feel like I want to light myself on fire. I'm gonna flip this so that I can actually draw. Flip it back. Okay, great. God damn, she looks so obnoxious, this woman. God, she looks so obnoxious. Okay. I actually need to make this a little bit larger. So annoying. I feel like Sean's entire life is just dealing with fucking Karens, and I do feel kind of bad. Like, how does this keep happening to her? Oh, I'm almost free of the beet juice. Why? I know it's good for me, but God. All right. Okay, let me see here. Hydrate. Oh my God. I did. Okay, I'm free of it. I'm gonna go rehydrate the water. Someone fucking help me. Reheat the water for the tea. Give me just a second. Okay, I did it. I did it! My mom sits down and get over it. The bottom was like extra gingery. It was like really spicy for no reason. The tea that I selected today, though, it was called Chestnuts Roasting, and it was a Christmas special tea from Adagio, and it's very Lapsang Souchongy. I don't like it by itself, which is why it sat on my shelf for so long, but to be honest, it is great with creamer, and now we have coffee creamer because Jace bought coffee creamer. So, I am going to drink that. Not me trying to force this DAS model. To do what I need it to do. We're fine. Slurp it. Yeah, it'll be fine. It's definitely better than the juice. And it's also better, most importantly, than the curse tea. So Sorry, I need to like... get... this going. Okay. There's the tea. Alright, hold on. I'll be right back again. Okay, I've returned. And now I have tea. Hopefully it will revitalize me. And that's how that will go. Okay. This has feral ass energy. Hold on. Sorry, I am trying to get this thing to do what I need it to do. Okay, I'm gonna zoom real close. We'll see if I have any need for any of this. I don't know. Actually, just kidding. You know that moment when you grab a screen grab and it's not what you want? Okay. I wish that you could just like sleep like if I had an on-off switch that would activate when I went the fuck to sleep, that would be insane. So fucking useful. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wish I could just be like, beep boop, and then just shut down. Like a little fucking robot. I think things will get better after the wedding and all of that other stuff, but I don't know. I think part of it is like the triggering fucking environment that we live in too, unfortunately. Globally, I mean. Thankfully my apartment is a good place to be, but it's just like every day, I don't know what kind of tomfuckery I'm gonna wake up to. I get to apply to more jobs after I get done with stream. I'm just gonna leave Wukong out of this panel. He doesn't need to be here. And I'm going to hopefully just kind of grab that window. Actually, I'm going to go do that now. It would just be so perpetually cool if I wasn't like obnoxiously tired all the time. That'd be pretty fucking sweet. Out of glass like a doll. I don't know that all. Cause it's my brain, it aches. Say I love you, I disintegrate. Notorious being. Sleep on the ceiling, I can't put me down. You love to hate me. I'm a perfect celebrity. The faceless photograph. I'll make you money, I'll make you laugh. Me you're pretty, I'll show you mine. Love to hate me. I'm your perfect celebrity. Yeah, goddamn. What do I want to do with his arm? You know that one when you're just like, where am I putting your arm? Give me money, I'll make you laugh. Show me a pretty, I'll show you mine. You to hate me. Perfect celebrity. Can I? Thank you. That's just horrendous looking. Why? I guess on the plus side, this page today was able to reuse a lot of like previously made assets, so I don't have to like, I can just kind of vibe. I can just kind of be like, here's this, and then just patch it. Which in and of itself is pretty fucking nice. Okay. Nope. Nope. Oh, not like that. I'm going to go to sleep forever. I just don't know what I'm like. I guess, I don't know. My brain was like, I don't know what I'm going to do after this. And it's like, well, you're going to work because that's like all you do. You dummy. I don't know how I'm supposed to function. And I'm like, I don't know. I wish, this is what I wish. I wish that my brain wasn't like this, where I keep applying for these jobs that are like not exactly what I want to do in the like in life, you know. So like, for example, I applied for a travel agency like sales position because I like to travel, so selling travel is not really like that weird of a position for me to be in. But, like, it has absolutely nothing to do with my skill set at all. And it's, like, significantly lower than what, like, with my credentials, what I should be getting paid per hour. But I have to concede because I physically can't find a job anywhere else. So I just, like, I have no choice. And it feels really shitty, I guess, to be in a position where I don't have that choice, you know? And so I keep dreading having to, like, go do this stupid sales job where I'm going to be calling people literally, like, over 100 times a day to try and get old people to get on a plane. Like, that's the job. That's the gig. And I guess I just wish that I was like, I didn't have to like fucking suffer like that. After putting in so much fucking work, it's like I'm trying to not be uber disappointed. And it's tough because, like, I feel like any boomer would be like, oh, yeah, well, you got to put in the time. I put in the time, and then you gotta put in the time, and that's just what has to happen, you know? Like, sorry, dude, but that's just the way it goes. And it's like, yeah, but I'm also fucking almost, like, I'm, like, over 30 now. I already put in the time, and I already did fast food jobs and shit, like, I shouldn't have to go and work in sales. Because, like, some people get their degrees in sales. So, like, not to say that that's, like, an invaluable position or anything. But, like, that's not me. I didn't go to school for that. So I just get to, like, pretend, you know, and then it's, like, hard when you're doing an interview and the person's like, why are you excited about this job? And it's like, well, to be honest, I just got a degree in animation and art, and I want to go do fucking art. So I'm not excited for this job. But if I don't fucking do this job, I won't be able to pay my rent. And then if I can't pay my rent, I get kicked out of my fucking apartment. So, yeah. That's why I'm excited, I guess. And then it feels uber bad because you don't want to tell somebody that, you know? Yeah, I'm excited to not be homeless. Yeah, for real. Denver's fucking expensive. It's one of the most expensive cities in the United States, and my rent is about to be $3,000 USD. I'm real excited to not have to worry about that. So yeah, point being, if you know anybody who wants a Ko-fi membership, because if I can make like $1,000 a month off of my business, I wouldn't have to work anywhere else. But alas. That is definitely way easier said than done. I would have to probably find 200 more people. Yeah, like, no, we're all fucking poor. And that's really the problem, is that, like, while I love Twitch and I love being here, I recognize that oftentimes the people who can spend the most time on streaming platforms like this are disabled, children, or, again, without a job, like you're saying, because that's what happens. Or a combination of the three. And so, it's like, they're here, like a lot of people are here because it's free entertainment. And also, too, the benefit of human connection is definitely, like, undeniable, which is what is very cool about Twitch. Like, I love that for us. That's, like, really neat. But then, you run into the issue as, like, a business owner where it's like, oh, okay, all the people who are frequenting this location don't have any money. So it's really difficult to, like, on the internet, like, try and get individuals to... Well, it's like they don't have any more to give. You know, it's like that's just the way that goes. Yeah, I just, like, it's just a bananas situation to be in. The U.S. is low-key cooked. I'm very excited to go and move to a place where it's, not going to be literally the most fucking expensive place of all time. Like, holy shit. These. This is not correcto. No es correcto. But yeah, even sharing my stuff in other servers and things like that, because you never know if somebody's going to be like, oh, I want to support this trans person while they're trying to, like, move out of the country, or, like, things like that can be insanely helpful. Or even sharing the server without expectation of people coming in, you know, for monetary reasons, just to build the group is also super, super helpful. Because the more people we can bring in here, one, the easier it is for me to market myself when those things do come up, but then also, two, it definitely makes the environment a lot more engaging and easier for me to, like, reach more people, because then those people know people, etc., etc., etc. And we all might not have any money, but at least we have each other. But, yeah, it's definitely a lot of, like, job applications, a million of them all the time. And actually... Well, like, for me, it's definitely, like, community is great. And, like, it's tricky because I don't want to be like a dick to anybody who's on stream here, because like I consider like you guys my friends, so this is a little bit different. And for those of you watching like VODs, if anybody is watching the VODs that I'm not like super close with, this is obviously like no offense to anybody, but the reality is that like this is my job, you know what I mean? And so I think that there also is a little bit of a degree of like parasocial relationship that happens with people who stream, and like that's been the most difficult hurdle that I've had to like climb just overall as like a content creator on the internet and a streamer, because what people are looking for and what I'm willing to give are two completely different things. And again, because a lot of the people on the internet here in this space are disabled or children, or they're looking for something to kind of fill their time during the day. They're looking to make friends, and it's a very like Tumblr circa 2012 kind of a relationship that they're looking for, where they're looking for mutuals to reblog their silly shit because it's stuff that brings them joy and things like that. But it's difficult to express to people that that's not necessarily the product that I offer, if that makes sense, right? And sometimes, like the relationship extends beyond like, oh, this is my, business space and things like that, or like you're a regular that comes in often and I'm excited to see you, etc., etc. Which is the case for definitely some of the people in my stream for sure. But it's really difficult to explain to people that it's like, I'm not just here just for gigglies, to like do stuff on stream for free while everybody watches and then that's it. You know what I'm saying? Like, the goal of my stream is to reach more people and to market myself and to market my products, because I run a small business. Like, ultimately, that's just the vibe, and that can be really difficult for people to understand, because then they get mad at me because their expectations for what is going on in the stream is different than what I deliver, because then I talk about my products, or I like talk about like, I try to be as transparent as I can. When I like now, it's like if I had a larger reach, I wouldn't be in this situation. I could self-sustain, and it's difficult for me as a creator to know that I've been doing this for almost a decade. I've been streaming and trying to build a following for almost a decade, and I have 400 followers on Twitch. Like, that's the growth. It's insane. It's like so slow. And I'm very envious of the people who seemingly post like one stupid thing to the fucking internet and it blows up. Like, I think about, and like sometimes people put in the work and you just got to get lucky. I think about the Dirtman guy. I was following the Dirtman guy before he posted the fucking absolute banger that is the Keep a Little Pillow, or Keep a Little Dirt Under the Pillow for the Dirtman song. And he got lucky. But he was making his own music and writing his own stuff and doing comedy long before Dirtman. And nobody fucking knew he existed, except for the very select few people who actually followed him, which is really sad to think about, And so like that's kind of like the reality that I have to face every day coming into this. And it's the constant bummer of like knowing that I want to take a break and I don't really want to be here sometimes, but like I am not allowed to stop, because if I stop, my presence on the internet completely vanishes. I get deleted. Because I'm not like somebody famous like Lizzo, where if you decide that you don't want to be on the internet anymore for a little while, you can take a break and then be like, oh, I'm done, I'm not going to do this right now. And then you come back later and it's like, oh, Lizzo's back, because you know who she is and you know what to expect from her content. And like Lizzo might be a bad example because she's so big and like, of course, everybody is going to know who Lizzo is. But I think of other celebrities or like internet influencers truly, and not celebrities, where they feel like they have to apologize for taking a break. Because they know that if they stop, if they become irrelevant, your career is over. That's it. Game over. And then the opposite is true for somebody like me, where it's like, if I stop, who knows if I'm going to miss an opportunity to potentially find the right person, or see the right account, or do the right social media trend, or be on stream at the right time. Because you never know if Neil Newbin is going to raid into your Twitch. And like, that's what sucks about the 400 followers that I have right now, is that a majority of them came from that time that the voice actor for Asterion for Baldur's Gate raided into my channel, which is amazing. And I'm so thankful that his community, that his mods saw my silly title and were like, vampire dating sim, and then assumed it was about Neil. Because I made the right decision and titled the stream in a way that made it easy for their mods to find me. To know that I was like explicitly looking for Asterion content. That's luck. But all of those people came into the stream, and then I have not seen any of them since. And so now they just kind of sit in my follower count and never engage with my platform. And so I can't really use that. You know, it's like, how am I supposed to use that to help me as like an artist or as an author? You know, they want to support Baldur's Gate, and that's it. They want to support Neil, and that's it. Which is fine, but again, not very helpful for me in the long run. You know, it's like shit like that. So it's like, I feel like I'm not really allowed to like stop at all. I don't know. It's weird to me when people get mad about people talking about their products, because it's like, it's the same as having a discount code with like gamer subs or something. Yeah, no, it's true. Well, and the problem is like, I find that a lot of people, they don't get mad, they just quiet quit your stream. So they'll follow you, but they will never, ever, ever show up to any of your stuff. Because that's too much of an investment for them. They don't want to be that involved. Too much work. And everybody, of course, is entitled to their own time, but like, definitely, it can be super, super difficult as like a creator on the internet for people like wanting free stuff, or like wanting to engage in a specific way that you're not comfortable engaging in, or alternatively, you're like trying to get someone to do something and then they don't want to view you in that way. So it's very weird. So I definitely, and it's hard for me. Like, it's hard for me to want to ask to, you know, like, share my information around. Like, and I cannot even stress enough how, like, constantly going to your friends, and, like, I know that this might seem, like, annoying as fuck, so I'm so sorry if it comes across that way. But, like, constantly going to your friends and being like, hey, I watch this streamer every fucking day because I love them and they're my friend, or, like, and again, in my case, with the people that are in the stream right now, like, you guys are my friends. I really, like, genuinely 1,000% mean that. You know, so it's like, if you follow this person and you know, and this doesn't apply to just me, too. Like, this applies to literally anybody, any small creator that has a business that they're trying to grow. Going to other people often and being like, hey, I'm hanging out in X person's stream right now. Do you want to come and hang out with me in there? Is fucking huge. And that can potentially make or break a streamer's entire career, because as soon as you start to get more people in your stream, it changes the algorithm, right? Obviously, like, that's the first biggest benefit of it, is that the algorithm is going to push your stream when people search for like art or something higher up on the little search bar so that other people can find you. But then that might establish a level of consistency with the other person to where that they might want to come back on their own, you know what I mean? And constantly reminding other people that, like, you're in like certain places. It's almost like if you were to go to a business, like a physical business, and it's like, hey, I'm going out to this cafe for lunch, or hey, I'm going to go to this club tonight, or hey, I'm going to go and get coffee at my favorite breakfast place. Do you want to come? And asking people to join you, especially if it's, of course, like if you're in like a venue that's like free, you know, like, and this applies to also physical businesses too. This definitely doesn't just apply to streams. Like, if you're going places and spending money and supporting small businesses, bring other people with you if at all possible, because for a lot of small businesses, it's like legitimately make or break if you can do that, you know? But just having people show up is huge. But I don't mean to sit on my, like, soapbox. Sweet baby, like you're gonna die. Wasn't on the inside, I could be your antidote tonight. Yeah, it's just, I guess, point being, truly, I'm just frustrated and I don't know what to do, because I'm trying really hard to not sacrifice, like, doing this with you all, which is, like, what I love to do. You know, if I could consistently publish webcomics and, like, just do art and just do, like, any of my book writing or things like that, and that's all that I did all the time, like, that would be my choice, you know? And I'm just, like, I'm not sure how to get myself to a point where I don't have to just, like, keep asking for stuff. Like, it starts to feel very mutual aid-y and not like, hey, I'm marketing a business, you know? Which is also not my intent either. And thankfully, things are significantly better than what they were for me several years ago. You know, I was, like, legitimately in a place where I could not... I was legitimately, like, starving. Like, it was actually really, really bad. I couldn't do anything for myself. I wasn't allowed to have fun. I couldn't go anywhere. I couldn't afford to do, like, literally anything. And it was the most stressful time of my life. Like, really, really bad. But then you have to sit in it because, again, you're not allowed to, like, as a small business owner, you're not allowed to give up. Because if you give up, you vanish. So I don't know. I wish that there was, like, an easier way to, like, get a job in the industry, or, like, an easier way, like, a more surefire way to market yourself. You know, like, if I had a way to, like, or, like, a company that I knew of that was like, oh, okay, well, you know, if you pay us X dollars, we'll promote your social media in X way. Like, that would be ideal. Because then at least I could have some reliability. But, like, I don't know if anybody even knows how to fucking operate on the internet. Not really. Like, people will say that they do, but I'm like, do you, though? Like, really, though? Yeah. Sorry if this is very soapboxy. I recognize that I have a lot of this shit on my mind. Because, I've been applying for, like, a billion different jobs, so it's been like effectively all I've been thinking about is you know, trying to figure out what my career looks like and if I'm going to be able to survive or not, and it's been low-key stressful. I'm just constantly like, why can't I sleep? And it's like, maybe that. Probably those things. Yeah, the changing algorithms definitely do not help. Like, at all. At all, for sure. Definitely would agree with you on that one. And even still, it's like, all of these companies have social media services where it's like, you know, you can pay them to promote your posts or to do things like that, and like, there's not even really any guarantee that if you promote shit, like for example, I've promoted my stuff with like the TikTok ad system, right? And the only thing that results in is legitimately you getting bullied. No joke. Like, you'll go to promote, so you'll pay TikTok to promote your content, and then somebody will be calling you a fucking slur in your comments all of a sudden. And it's like, oh, cool, I can't believe TikTok, thank you so much. I can't believe I paid you money for you to let somebody call me a slur. So cool. TikTok's like, which is what it is. The internet's a horrible fucking place. So that's not surprising to me anyway. Not in that way, at least. Still fucking annoying, because it's a waste of an investment, but... Because, like, certain platforms, and the ones that I tend to be on the most often, like Twitch, are, I think, what I would consider... They're, like, supplementary, if that makes sense. So, like, Twitch should be used as a supplement to other social media where people can engage with your content. So, like, YouTube, for example. And if people can watch your content, like, as a game streamer on YouTube, then that will, help you gain more people who want to watch you live, right? It's like, oh, I watched this person's gaming video on YouTube, so I want to watch them live. So Twitch is not their, like, first choice because it's an easy to miss social media, right? But this is, like, the easiest thing for me to do. And then other apps like Blue Sky haven't really picked up. Or I have loads of followers on TikTok, which is cool, but it's like, then what, though? You know? And sometimes, actually, I shouldn't dog on TikTok and YouTube, though, because actually I've made quite a few sales, which is very surprising to me based on TikTok and YouTube alone. That's a shocker. I didn't expect that shit. And so the word of mouth sales on those two platforms are better than anywhere else I've ever had a following. That's nuts. So I swear to God, if they fucking try and take TikTok from us, I'm gonna, like, I guess, you know what? Fuck it. I'll be in New Zealand, so it won't matter, but, like, god damn. So that one I feel less bad about. But the promotion stuff, I don't know how effective that is, truly. I just wish things were a lot more transparent and easier for us to access as creators. Because I have all of this content, all of these things that I want to offer to people, even for free. Like, a lot of my stuff, like, I think about how, like, I have 2 books on the internet, actually 3 total books on the internet right now that are 100% free to read. Nobody has to pay anything to access them. And all I want from people, if possible, is for somebody to read it and get super fucking hyped about it. And tell their friends about it. And be like, yeah, I read this cool fucking thing on the internet and it's so neat and I want to share it with people. That would be like my ideal scenario. Or like the fact that, like, God bless Riddle. Riddle's a fucking legend. You know, the fact that they came in and they wanted to draw a little fucking Atari art, that's fucking insane to me. Like, that is the coolest shit of all time. And that's the kind of stuff that I really appreciate, and it makes me feel like I'm seeing in what I'm doing here, even though it's very slow, actually means something, you know? And then, like, obviously having y'all in here too, I definitely don't shake a fist at that. Like, the fact that y'all make time out of your day is huge. Why is it change? Yeah, no, this. Why? True. Like, why? And sometimes it changes for the better. But goddamn. Yeah, that's a fucking crapshoot. And then it feels like they're not very transparent with us is really the problem. So there's a lot of guesswork involved. And I don't like that. And I guess that's maybe kind of what I like about TikTok, is that there are certain things about TikTok that are not guesswork at all. Like, and I know that seems crazy, especially if it's, if your following is kind of slow coming. But I know, for example, if I see a trending audio, like my favorite one right now is that was rude. That audio, I love that. Death Becomes Her is iconic. So that being said, like, knowing that I have access to that audio, if I know for a fact that if I use that audio, I used it twice. And not only did people not get bored, but also that ended up, you know, not only racking up a shitload of views on TikTok, but even more views on YouTube. And the subscriber, like, growing on YouTube is slower, but that's great. You know, it's like, it's good to be able to have those kinds of things to rely on, where I know if I post that, at least I'll get something, which is good. But I don't know. And then who knows if that'll change next week. You know, that's the joke, is it's like, is it tomorrow, is it going to be different? Well, this is fine. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird being on the internet. I don't know. So, yeah, definitely don't want to seem like I'm not appreciative at all, for sure. That's definitely not the case. Speaking of weird shit on the internet, get out of here, bot. Be gone. We didn't summon you. Fuck off. Fuck right on out of here. Yeah, it's just like, I don't know. Yeah, I guess it's crazy. It's really difficult for me to like grapple with the fact that I've like, of all of the novels that I have on the internet right now, it's like I think about like, this math is going to make me depressed probably. Even if we average down or average up, I have a total of like 450,000 words on like for sale on the internet, and that's just my books, on top of like the 200 pages of comics that I have online, and that's like 500 hours of work that like 80 people have seen. you know it's like, damn, you start to think about that, and it's like, what the fuck am I doing this for? Like, because the whole point, I think that's really what makes me so depressed about the whole thing, is that people are like, oh, well, you should just make art for you. And that's all well and good and everything, except for the fact that, yes, that's valid to some extent. However, the reality is that I'm a storyteller. And what the fuck is a storyteller supposed to do without an audience? It's like asking an actor to go up on a stage with nobody there to listen to, or like to perform for. Like, it becomes, I don't know, I guess really just really depressing. So it starts to get, yeah, I don't know, very, I don't want to say empty, because that's not the way. It can be very discouraging to not want to put your art, or your, truly for me, my written work specifically, up on the internet, because it's like, okay, like, why am I even trying to get this out here? What strategy do I have to try and get my books in front of somebody? And the answer is it's like, I don't really have a lot of a strategy. Yeah, there is I think, a degree of hollowness to it. It's an overwhelming feeling of burnout, if that makes sense. You just get to the point where you're just like, there's a little bit of nihilism that takes over, I think, where it's like, okay, like you spend so much time talking to an empty room effectively that it's like, okay, I am the only one in here who cares about my own stuff. Now what? Demoralizing might be the word that I'm looking for. And that can be a really difficult thing, because it goes even beyond rejection, because you're not really hitting like rejection sensitivity, truly. There is a little bit of that like embedded into it, I think, but mostly it's like, what am I even like training for or doing any of this for? Why am I honing my craft like if nobody is looking at it? And artists, I feel like people do artists a massive disservice. Like, they constantly tell us like, well, you shouldn't care what other people think. But we are like entertainment professionals. Our entire job is caring what other people think. That's part of the whole fucking shtick, So to try and like, I guess, tell an artist to not give a shit, it's like, that's also like subliminally kind of offensive, on like another level as well, where it's like, but I like want to give a shit because it's my craft. I've spent so many hours doing this, and like that's part of the job. Like, it's such a weird thing to assume that we don't want to be seen. So to just tell somebody to just like get over it, it's like, oh, okay. Like, why would you say that to somebody? It's so bizarre. Let's see, let me do that here. Yeah, and definitely not to just whine a bunch, but like, I even get envious of the people who are like on like for affinity and stuff, who, you know, they do it for like a very like at a hobbyist level, and then they have rabid fan bases, you know, and I'm like, I wish I could get people to give a shit as much about my stuff as those people are passionate about furry stuff. Like, I would literally fucking run myself over for that. There's just like also too, I think, like a really deep sense of like longing for like, man, not even just the recognition, but like the human connection there of having your work seen and interpreted. You know, somebody reads it and goes, oh my gosh, I really love this character, and like, oh god, I relate to them so much, and like, you know, and so again, sometimes it does happen. Like, I had somebody reach out to me, and I don't know if they'll follow through with it, but like, even if they don't, it doesn't matter, because it's really like the thought that counts. But I had somebody reach out to me to tell me that they're making like a King of Dust animatic because they liked the book so much. And I'm like, what in the fucking seven hells is this shit? Like, how did this, where did you come from? And it's like somebody I don't know, you know what I mean? Like, that shit's insane. You know, so sometimes it does happen, and I know that these things take time, but the like actual time that it takes to get there is fucking exhausting. Oh, that is the wrong font. I think that this bubble can be smaller. It can. And actually, do we got a shouty one? Yeah, I'm gonna need a different boob. I need a different boob! Okay, here we go. This one's better. Yeah, this one's effectively the same, just better bubble. She's not, like, hollering her head off, but, like, also, too, this lady's annoying as fuck. And then I can control the, lovely, little tail on this, too. Let's do like this. I don't know what's going on. I would break my own leg. I've broken it before. I do it again. You just like literally hit me with the bus. Fucking honestly. This chestnut with this Chobani cinnamon roll creamer. Hell yeah. Shit's good. That tastes like Christmas. Yeah, it's just tricky. Like, because really what needs to happen to us is one of us needs to get a really fucking big platform randomly. Like, we just need to fucking... One of us needs to get super, super, super lucky. Because I think about all of the people that I love that are incredibly successful, and, like, I would not have it literally any other way for them. Like, Jacksepticeye is a good example of that as a YouTube streamer. He wouldn't have nearly as much success if he didn't know people like Markiplier. Which is not to say that his content is worth less than Markiplier's content, or that it's not worth anything at all. It's just like he was able to jump on videos with somebody like Markiplier, and because Markiplier was already popular, that set him. And so you either gotta go, like, get viral and get lucky, or know the right person. And, like, one of us just needs to get uber fucking famous, and then we can do that. Do you see me now? Your face in mine. I just recognize, too, we're in, like, the worst fucking time to probably try and, like, start careers as artists as well. Like, we're effectively, like, just for context, coming into a career as an artist right now is the equivalent of coming into a career in the .com burst or during the 2008 recession. Like, we are about to reach, like, economic levels of disaster in terms of, like, the economy, and so of course no one's gonna have fucking money for art. You know? Like, it makes fucking sense. Like, of course that's not gonna be what people's priorities are, or, like, how people are gonna be able to, successfully function, because we can't. Like, there's just no way in hell. It's just not gonna happen. And so we have to just kind of, like, hold on to the roller coaster and then just, like, ride, you know? And, like, I don't know, I guess as, like, an older person, like, I recognize I'm, like, you know, I'm not, like, fucking ancient or anything, you know, so this doesn't make me wizened or anything like that, but, like, you know, I do remember how bad it was, like, how fucking bad the 2008 recession was, because I was almost an adult when that was happening. And, I don't know, the times were rough. So knowing that, like, I think my teacher had, like, he had the best, advice regarding that, and regarding this now, and that advice is make your own work. So if we can find ways to make projects for ourselves and to try and, support ourselves in that way and form production teams and do things like that, we should. Because trying to find jobs in the industry is rough. And does that mean that we're going to be working for free? Yes. Absolutely. But like, does that mean that we have to work alone? Not necessarily. So, that being said, if anybody is fucking down for professional projects and like you actually like, because I guess at least that's the one skill that I bring to the table, is that I'm very experienced with being able to bring projects to completion of a variety of different types of projects, whether that's comics, books. I probably could figure out how to do principal for a film, like a short film, if we wanted to. Video games, I am especially knowledgeable in visual novels. And like those kinds of things. We could fucking do some shit. We could do some shit. And as long as like everybody is willing and able to stick to a production schedule, you can ship a product. The question is like, how balls to the wall, do you like, would you want to go on a project like that, etc., etc. So, you know what I'm saying? It's definitely not a bad thing to do your own projects. There's a whole reason why indie animation right now is insane with like Glitch Studio, whether that be Murderbots or let's see what else. Murderbots and Gaslight District and Digital Circus, and then even Vivzy Pop to some extent, even though like I'm not a huge fan of her work. I respect where she's at and like what they've got going on right now at the studio. Those things are fucking blowing up. Yeah, Monkey Wrench. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, those things are blowing up. And then even like if you're making like fun little comedy, like sketch comedy stuff that's not like an actual show, or if you're just putting pieces into your portfolio, like I think about Pretty Please, I Don't Want to Be a Magical Girl. That thing fucking blew up, and that's not even like an actual shipped show or anything. That's just that girl's pilot. I bet she's got a fucking job now because that thing blew up. She was able to produce a project with her friends that were really, really good. Really good. So, point being is if, anybody ever wants to approach me as like an actual pitch for a project, I've been doing this for like a decade at this point, shipping my own packages and shipping my own products. So that's not something that I'm unfamiliar with and can definitely like either guide other people on how to ship your own projects, or we can figure out how to make something ourselves. Because what it mostly comes down to normally is coming up with a really good production pipeline and then just making sure everybody knows what their job is and then sticks the fuck to it. And if you don't stick to it, then you get replaced. And having people like, unfortunately, that typically falls on like, and I know it seems like a kind of a stingy or like micromanagey way to go about it, but like having somebody even in an indie production be an art director is huge. I don't really like this panel. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna stand up for just a second and take a break. I will be right back. Okay, I have returned. I have returneth. I had to go say hi to Mr. Man to make sure he was alive. He's fine. I gotta do my hourly welfare check into my cat. Okay, let's see. Fortunately for me... Hello? There we go. Hi, Gamby. How you doing today? Oh yeah, you're good, Jamie. You do what you need to do. I'm gonna keep... Oh, whoops. This is incorrect. This is supposed to go down here. My bad. Let me see. That was awkward. This is not where this goes. This goes down here. Hydrate. I'm at the bottom of this teacup now with this creamer in this tea. It's fucking delicious. I'm doing pretty good. I have just been... We've been talking a lot about, like, art industry stuff in here, and then also, I've been applying for a lot of jobs. My wedding is officially almost 15 days away, which is kind of horrifying. So, not because I'm not excited, but it's just like, damn, and there it is. Need to make sure the old fart lives. Yeah, he's okay. And then, of course, working on this lovely comic. Now we're on to page... I can't believe that I am through, like, over 220 pages. That's insanity to me. Okay, this one's only 3. I don't know if I will get through this page today. I only got like 45 minutes left to finish the second page, but making progress is good. Any kind of progress is good. This is a nice page with some pretty good interaction between Wukong and Sean. It starts to show off like his he tends to be very physical. Which is not always a good thing. I wish that I could show you all this part of the process. It literally makes me so mad that I can't. Let me see what I got. Yeah, just been vibing. Sorry, I am figuring out what I want to do here. How do I want to pose? Like, a camera angle is so huge for all of these things. Yeah, right now I'm working on posing the figures in these scenes, but unfortunately, because of the exposed nippies that I can't turn off in Daz, Twitch and YouTube are, yeah, they would instant ban me if I showed that. So instead, I'm just going to switch over to this current page that we finished. But yeah, just posing models and making sure I am on the page that, like, I always like to be on. Oh, I like this one too. This is better. Let me see here. Okay, I need to think about how this is going to get mirrored or mimed. Let's see. Guess, does he grab her by the... Oh, you know, I had in my script that he grabbed her by the sleeve, but guess who doesn't have any sleeves? It's Sean. So that's unfortunate. That's silly. Sleeves are for the weak. Okay, I need to move Wukong. Time to fucking send him halfway across the world. What if I just draw him in the floor? Is that how that works? That's how that works, right? You just kind of... I like the way that this thumb ended up turning out. I don't know what the fuck is going on. But yeah, just vibing. That's pretty much all we've been doing in here all day. Is just hanging out. But hopefully everybody's been having a good time. Bye, Jamie. See you later. Thank you for coming in, and it was a good time seeing you. Thank you. I always appreciate what you have to say. Sorry, I'm really tweaking this shit, because if Wukong... Oh, you know what I did? Broke the fuck out of his hand. You know what I'm saying? You ever just break a hand? Trying to make this do what I need it to do is really difficult. Okay. I love Daz to death. And, like, it's great for estimation for things. But sweet baby God. Sometimes... That's all I gotta say. It's just sometimes. All of a sudden, you're, like, looking at the fucking hand. And you're like, well, that's broken. And then all hands are just fucked up. And that's all I gotta say. All of a sudden, it's like, whoa. Okay, so now the question is what is the best... Oh, I love this fucking... Oh, I love this pose, though. Okay, so now the question is what is the best camera angle for this? Because I really need like a big, wide establishing shot. Is it going to be cowboy shot? I think it is going to be cowboy. Yeah, but maybe Worm's Eye Cowboy because Wukong being stupid. Shows power dynamic. Shows problematic power dynamic because Wukong piece of shit. That's my I'm fine. Alright, let's see. So now on this, I might do 1, 2, yeah, okay. Actually, I'm going to do 3 wide shots. Yeah. Yeah. You said yourself this wasn't easy. You said yourself this wasn't easy. Okay, so this is going to be kind of interesting. I love that this new Photoshop can just do that. It's fucking so useful. Yeah, I like it. Not bad. I love when Wukong being stupid. Yeah, not necessarily stupid here. Mean. Well, and actually, you know what? Not mean. Sean is in a high tension situation here because I would be too. If it was me and my mom was like potentially getting like was under house arrest and had been abducted and was like potentially in grave danger because this asshole was like holding her hostage in her own home and had probably killed my dad. And then the police were like, I'm sorry, we're real busy and we can't help you today. I also would be like, motherfucker. And then she's starting to get kind of aggressive with like the officer at the desk. And I'm pretty sure Wukong is like, we don't need to have any kind of issues. He's like, I appreciate you, but also we need to like calm the fuck down. So I'm actually gonna go ahead and do all 3 of these Daz poses at the same time. Let's see. Hold on. Let's see, because I'm trying to think if somebody's got my wrist. Hold on. She's going to jerk her arm away and twist and do the other thing. Okay. Okay, I got it. So I got to twist her around. Twist. Actually, I'm going to have to twist her whole fucking body. Well. You know what? It surprisingly doesn't help as much as I thought it would. Never mind. I would like to be able to Okay, let me pull this down. Eh. You have to just be able to, like, make hands do hand things. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be like, do the thing. Do it. Go. Do what I say. And then maybe it'll, I don't know. Will it work? Maybe. I just, like, have to really be careful to not move the camera at all. That's the hard part about working with DAZ, is especially if you're doing things sequentially. It's very similar to doing storyboarding. You don't want to move the camera too much, if at all. Actually, I'm gonna try and not move this figure too as much as humanly possible. You ever just... What is fucking happening right now? There we go. And now the hard part is trying to line up everything. I don't know. Hey Luke, what's going on? How you doing? I am... Sorry, I'm working with some 3D models, which are incredibly useful, but unfortunately, they are very anatomically accurate, and I cannot show them on screen because Twitch will immediately be like, a booty cheek, and then throw me into the fire. But I hope you're having a great day. Oh, nice. Working on some sprites. Well, if you want to share any of your work, you're more than welcome to drop a link into the chat so we can check out your artwork, because I am all about that in this stream. That is awesome. Okay, sorry, I'm moving some shit around. All right, let me censor the nippies so that Twitch doesn't try and kill me. It hated the booty cheeks last time. It really did not like me for that one. That's okay. Okay, here we go. I always have trouble with emotes because I have trouble simplifying things down that far. Okay, so I'm actually going to cheat this pose too. Let me rock this forward. Sorry, hold on. It doesn't help that Wukong is so much taller than Sean. And so it ends up being really dumb. Sorry, hold on. Can I? Let me bring the thumb in. I'm a fool. And then I want to make sure that the silhouettes are still really, really clear. Yeah, that's fine. And then I'm going to zoom in. Zoom. I probably will zoom and do that. Okay, cool. Oh, whoops. Yeah, I was like, hello? Oh, this looks really, really good. Cool. Yeah, I love how Twitch was like, oh! Yeah, sorry. Sorry you got timed out. This is so cool. I love the red hair on this character. The color palette is really great. The, like, gray eyes and the red hair, or, like, blue-gray, it's, like, really pretty. This guy looks like every barista friend that you want. You want to have a barista friend. This is the dude. This is the person. They're very fun. That's so cool. I also really like your texture, too. You've got great texture on this thing. I really dig this a lot. Thank you so much for sharing. Sorry, Twitch is a weenie. Twitch constantly is like... It's trying us for no reason. It's literally me every day with this damn website. I'm like, why are you trying to do this to me? Stupid censorship bars. Okay, now that we got the censorship. God damn. Okay, and then it doesn't really matter if I am consistent with this sizing or not, because... Okay, let me figure out... So this I'm doing like basic blocking for this comic panel now. I'm redoing all the bachelors. Nice! Nice! Sorry, I wasn't looking at the chat. No, it wasn't you. It wasn't you, Cal. It was good. Effectively, the auto mod bot was like, and had a heart attack. It was, yeah, me. It was me. Me without caffeine. So I can kind of relate. I understand, little bot friend, but also too, good lord. No linkies. Yeah, true. No, that's so awesome. Ugh, I really don't... I don't want to, like... have this all go down the center, but to this, like, I guess same extent, like... Same point, I feel like this is better if, like, there's, like, a dividing... Ugh, but see, I don't know where to put them. Hold on. My rule of thirds brain is, like, don't do that. But then also, I don't want to be in a situation... I'm going to just slightly off-center the entire thing. Oh, but then I don't know what's going in the background. No, I'm leaving it alone. This should be probably fine. I love how there's a LARPing demo happening at the university that I teach at. They're like, would you like to come and LARP? And I'm like, Alright, so now what I need to do is I'm going to make sure, because this is some dynamic stuff, and I like the foundation of this, but I have a feeling if I'm not careful... Like, this needs to be more. It just needs more. So let me readjust the gesture for these. This is fine. I don't feel like this is really that big of a deal here. But let me get the gesture sketch down and see if there's anything that I need to tweak, to be honest. Who knows? Could be anything. Because the last thing that I want is for... Ooh, yeah, and there's some weird shit going on here. Hold on. Yeah, that's fine. Let me make sure. I don't need this anymore either. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with the overall composition here. Because I could do a slow zoom. The problem is that it's Wukong and then Shan and then Wukong. So then the question is do I go... I could move just this one. And make it more like this. Like that, maybe? Give it more presence? I don't know. Okay, let me go back in here. Let's see. Get out of here. Let's see. So this one, I think, is actually okay. And actually, I think that there's like an anatomy issue here too. Because even though the arm comes back, there we go, better. Okay, so now I really need to take this and we're gonna go like this. Because he's walking away, so I want this to be like this instead. Which I can use the other leg, that's fine. But this needs to have better leg. Better leg. Give him a little bit more. They call this the Brad Pitt hips in the animation industry. I'm not even shitting you. That's better. Because then this is fine. Brad Pitt hips. Because it was Brad Pitt. He consistently stands like this for photographs or in movies when he's posing for film. He's got Brad Pitt hips. That's all I gotta say. There's not more to it, really. I wish there was more of a story to it. But if you look up any picture of Brad Pitt, especially when he was younger... Sometimes it's called superhero hips. It kind of depends on like who you're talking to, but most of the time I've heard Brad Pitt hips. Let's see, I need more contrapposto here. There we go, that's better. Yeah, and actually, hold on a little bit more. And then, let me get this, and then, hold on. This looks much better. And then I don't like this portion of the leg, so we're gonna go like that. There we go. That's better, because then that gives him kind of this, like, hip swoop. I'm way more of a fan of that. And then, that being said, I need to duplicate this. And he can stay almost in exactly the same position. I think she's actually okay in this as well. I feel like his gesture was just really stiff. And now this is a lot better. Yeah. I wish that these Daz models were... I don't know. It's not that they're shitty. It's just that, like, sometimes if you're not careful... The default poses are fine, but then they end up in a position where, like, you might be in a position where the overall execution, the gesture itself, is, like, really bad. Like, I might want to widen her stance here, actually. Because then that gives it a little bit more of a sense of, like, urgency here. Yeah, much better. Much better! And I might scale this up. At the very minimum, at the end of today, I'll have not only, like, one page done, but then also, too, this, like, gesture cleanup will be done. And that's all I can ask for. And then this needs some mad work. I'm going to try and get into the habit of cleaning up some of these gestures. Just because I've noticed that I'm starting to get too stiff. And most of the time, I can catch the cleanup when it needs to happen. But I'd rather catch it before than get done with the drawing and then be like, I don't like it. Let's see now. Yeah, because I want to pull this over more. Like that instead. And then that way. Yeah. Because then this also allows him to have a more, like, shaped figure, too. So you don't get trapped in the, like, I'm stuck in anatomy hell where I have, like, no muscle definition or things like that. Guess who does not want to go to therapy? It's me. I would much rather be drawing this shit. This is also, by the way, a super fucking great way to up your anatomy skills, too, is if you have the ability to get some really high quality models or photographs of models and fuck around with the posing, because sometimes this happens with photographs of models as well, like physical humans. Ooh, I don't like this. Hold on, let me twist this way. Better. You can get physical photos of physical humans and do this, and then what's great is once you've got the gesture down and you know that you like the gesture here like this, you can go and stylize it in any way that you want. So you can do, like, superhero anatomy or things like that and kind of tweak everything to fit whatever, like, if you are, like, in a more anime style or things like that, like, because I tend to be more realist, like, that's not as much of a concern. But maybe I'll do a demo on that one time. It's like changing, like, realist models to fit a style. if that's something that you're looking for, you know? But yeah, she looks okay. For the most part, I don't think I moved her too much in between those two frames. Yeah, so if you were storyboarding, to be honest, comics and storyboarding go very much hand in hand. I've thought about having like a storyboarding portfolio and doing that, but like also too kind of lazy. Yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. So now if I go in, I can go and double check. So some of these things, some of the pose I can still use. Let's see. But some of it I'm gonna tweak. Like I can use this face to help me position features. What is the dialogue on this page? Okay, easy. He tried to grab her arm. She was like getting really aggressive with this police officer, and so he recognizes that she's in the right and deserves to be upset because this police officer is actively ignoring her and being a piece of shit. But he made the mistake of grabbing her arm and turning her around, and she's like, don't fucking touch me. Like, it's great that you want to do this and be with me, but like, do not fucking touch my arm. She definitely does not have a good relationship with Wukong at this point. Like, it is rocky at best. At some point, he does punch her in the face, though, which is not great. And that's, like, actually 100% canon to the original book as well. Wukong punches Sansang in the face. Which is not cool. Don't do that. Let's see. I'm gonna do like a little bit of a kind of lower. Crusty. Lip. Actually, I kind of want to bring this up a little bit. This is a very small panel, all things considered. The amount of detail is effectively non-existent. me. I would not be surprised if Sean tried to pop Wukong in the mouth, though. He's kind of an asshole. Like, I definitely do not blame her at all if she was like, fuck you, and then just tried to hit him in the face. A 100% justified. Gotta be careful. I guess if I go downstairs to go let my parents into the apartment, I can go and get my mail. So excited for fucking Pigsy. He's so close. We're so close to Bo. I honestly should have started with Sean on this panel. I don't know why I did that to myself. I'm gonna do a new layer and we're gonna do that. Yeah, that's what I thought. Because he definitely grabbed her and turned her ass around. So let me get this to go like that. And then maybe some like fun stuff like this. Like that. Okay. Yeah. It is so dry here. My poor little throat is like, wah, he. Yeah, I'm definitely grateful that I know anatomy to the extent that I do, because like there's a lot of correction that has to happen with the DAS models in the sense that limbs start to cross over each other in the wrong way. I'm almost done with this tea. Nine, take off to the planet Venus. That's all I gotta say. Garden passed off to a new dimension in your bedroom. Venus, Aphrodite, lady, seashell bikini. Help the way I'm feeling. Goddess of lovely, save me, your leader. I can calm this down just a little bit. Okay, there we go. You touch me, I die just a little inside. I wonder if this could be love. This could be love. Wrongs are out of this world. Galaxy's face time. go. Actually, there we go. Okay. Yeah, this is how I'm going to handle, I think, these comics from now on. So that way, people can understand that it's like, you don't need the DAS models to draw, and then you do have to correct them at some point. Because I find that I keep running into the issue of people being like, you're just tracing over the shit. And I'm like, no! And then I just, I have to, like, fucking fight people. I'm tired. I'm tired of doing that shit. So this doesn't take, like, too much more time to do. It slows my process down a little bit, but it's whatever. It is what it is. Actually, you know what? I could probably do both. See, in some things I'm going to be lazy and I don't want to draw this hand. But this... God, this era of Lady Gaga was manic. When you touch me, I die just a little inside. I wonder if this could be love. This could be love. This world, galaxy, space, time. Actually, this thumb needs to move. Yeah, see, and sometimes it's just not good. Sometimes Daz doesn't fucking know. Daz has no fucking clue. Daz just, fuck, man. And it ain't bad. It just ain't good either. Yeah, this for speed. And then, actually, I think... I merged these two things together, and now I have regrets. I have regrets. Because actually what I'm going to do... Let me dislocate Wukong's head. Sorry, buddy. Sorry, buckaroo. Yee. Dislocate. There you go, buddy. Hey, there you go. He's fine. But what I can do now, I'm going to go ahead and turn this off. I'll leave him up. Whoa! Photoshop did the thing. Oh my god. Kale, I guess that's my sign to fucking stop working because it decided that it was going to freak out. But, we made a little bit of progress. At the very least, the posts are plotted out, and I don't hate this page, so this is good. It works out for me. I'm fine. I'm going to go ahead and bounce out, and tomorrow we'll be streaming over on Picarto, so keep your eye on the Discord server specifically if you want to come and look at NSFW comics. I don't know. Let me double check to see if there's going to be Shminis over in the comic or the page that I'm going to be working on. Yes, there is going to be some tasteful Shminis, potentially. It depends on how fast I work. So, it's like, it's not anything erotic, it's just male nudity. So if that's something that you are uncomfortable seeing, you don't have to come over and look at it. But if you don't care, that's a thing that's going to be happening tomorrow on Picarto. So, yeah, it's like a booty cheek and the underside of a schmeener. So, yeah, hopefully I will see you then. And if not, thank you so much for hanging out. I appreciate you. And I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.